Join the Discord in the description if you would like to talk with other people who play Pokemon, or if you want help with trading or battling. 2 game-changing things you need to know. Like you read in the title for the first one, battling is different. For example, if we're looking at a Pokemon like Kadabra, you know that he learns the move Teleport. Well, apart from using it like in the older games where you'd use it to get back to the Pokemon Center, what it does in this game is it functions as a dodge. The user will teleport back to its trainer. What does that mean? That means that if you are using the move, you can actually straight up dodge Pokemon's attacks. Now, why is this pivotal compared to, using it over Protect? If you look at the cooldown for Protect, you will block all damage when you use Protect. Stay with me though, right? Because if we're looking at Teleport, this has half the cooldown time compared to Protect. So you can actually use moves like Teleport, you can use moves like Dig, you can use them more frequently and more often compared to the standard Protect that we've all grown to know and love to dodge people's attacks in this game. That is right. The whole moveset has expanded for many different Pokemon. This game is vastly different, and that's what I'm stressing in this video. The most second important thing, Marlo is real.
Hello.
He has come to bestow us wisdom because I will be sharing with you guys very key locations for Pokemon, and most importantly, how you can properly battle in Pokemon Legends DA. So being that this game is more leaning into the action, there's a lot of things that you now need to consider. For example, there's a term called kiting, and I would hope that I can teach that to you guys here. So pretty much, that is when you are trying to control the enemy's movements and you're attacking them while circling around them. And that's because it makes it harder for them to try and get to you because you keep backing up, right? And now the whole concept is that... I thought he just died. I thought he like flew behind the car and died. You just want to be attacking the opponent without allowing the Pokemon to get to you so that they can land their hit. And now, I'll talk about this later, but if you use moves like Protect, you can block these moves as you keep kiting around and attacking it. Just imagine if I was attacking, I don't want to hit him because obviously we die. Walking around, making sure that they can't reach you, and then you can hit them with the move, right? He tried to use Tackle and he whiffed. I used Side Beam, which is a special move, and I was able to hit him. Be sure to keep moving so that they can't hit you, but you can hit them. And this will become more and more prevalent as you play through the game, and I suspect that this will be a very strong component to the online PvP scene. The next concept, and for people who've played any FromSoft game, you will understand, is learning to de-lock from the Pokemon. Now, exactly what do I mean by this? Let's say you have a Pokemon who's really just trying to give you a good digging, right? If you're locked on, you can't move as quickly compared to if you de-lock from the Pokemon. The main reason why you want to attack and then de-lock and walk back is because you move faster when you have freedom of movement. You can't sprint while you're locked on, but you can sprint if you're not. So, in my opinion, attacking, right? And then after you de-lock and then you walk away, that can help you to avoid some Pokemon and like their physical moves, because if it has a short range and you walk away, you can completely avoid it while you wait for your strong moves to get back to cooldown. The reason why I'm not showing this on stronger people is because I don't want to spoil the game for you guys. I'd imagine a lot of you just got the game. I personally got mine from a crack dealer, so if you see any glitches, any abnormalities, that was his fault. You see it's happening right there. And yes, in case if you were wondering, you can switch your Pokemon out to avoid a move, and this can work like you using Protect. Let's say you just use Protect, or if you don't have it at all, and you like Marlo, you just like to raw dog it, you can time your switch in case you're about to be hit with a strong move, completely leave it with that Pokemon, and then you take the hit with your new one. Or if you time it perfectly enough, you can actually just like straight up avoid the move. And so like, I urge you to get used to changing your Pokemon throughout the match, because it can help the longevity of not just the one you're trying to save, but all your Pokemon. If you switch out and then let's say you lay down some toxic spikes, you come back with him. But it gets even better. The depth at which the Pokemon battling goes here is actually absurd. So let's say you throw out your Litleo and it has Roar. If you're on cooldown for a move, you can literally use Roar and like you can blast him away a little bit. He whiffed Vine Whip because I use that. And then we can take him down with a special move for this long range like Ember, and then we can get the kill. So just be aware of things like Roar, Whirlwind. I don't know if Seismic throws in the game. If it is, I would imagine it does that. But at the very least, I confirm that both Roar and Whirlwind work like this. So if any of this helps you, subscribing and liking is greatly appreciated. Me and Marlo are out here grinding. Who else has a ghost chat up? No one! Speaking of, we have Flock merch. This is dropping with my music video, which dropped very recently. So subscribing is greatly appreciated. And if you are interested, check it out. And yes, if you see these types of vines, it looks like it's flammable, and you can just burn the whole thing if you love arson. So the status buffing moves actually got reworked. So for example, if you know how Swords Dance raises your attack stat by 2 times, in this game, if we read the description, you'll actually see that now it says that, oh my gosh, what are we doing? Chat, help, help! Okay, here we go. The user boosts its attack stat for a while. Now, if we look at another stat boosting move, like if we look at Watchdog, which by the way, does anyone like Watchdog, or is it just me? Like, is he just like a wasted slot? The user boosts its attack stats for a short time. Using something like Swords Dance will boost it by you having the buff to your attack longer compared to a move like, you know, Work Up or like, you know, Bulk Up. They'll last a shorter duration. If you see here with Work Up, the cooldown time is 15 seconds. Looking at Absol, his cooldown time is also 15. So yeah, seeing that Swords Dance lasts for 20 seconds, which is, it lasts longer than the cooldown, and Focus Energy lasting 30 seconds, it's seeing that the meta, and like, I know people don't like to hear about the meta because the game just came out, but it seems like a very strong option at the very least is to use these self-buff moves. So being that this is a Legends game, they have the alpha Pokemon that have returned. So something you might not know, their EV spread, by flicking down on the right stick, you'll see that every alpha Pokemon has their HP EV stat maxed out. So yeah, as you can see here, I got 3 random alpha Pokemon I caught. Watchdog, Dedenne, and Fletchling all have perfect EVs in health. So if you take a look at Tourist Tips, which you can access if you press start, I'm not sure if this is a spoiler, but you will experience this in the game pretty soon after you start it, but they have a concept called plus moves, and if you press the start button, you will use a little bit of your mega energy and you can make a move stronger. So if we use tackle with Honedge, right, that was a normal, you know, tackle, and if we use it as a plus move now, it seems like the damage increases. I can't really say by how much. It's looking like a 1.3 times increase. If you can imagine, like, you know, you using Life Orb in the base game, it's looking like it increases by that much. It affects status moves differently, because if you were to use something like, let's say, you know, Stun Spore with like this big Victory Bell, and we use it as a plus move, or actually let's use Toxic, right? So if we use that as a plus move, according to the game, these statuses will last longer compared to normal. So for example, a strategy that I've liked to use recently is using Toxic Spikes. Now what this does is it leaves a layer of Toxic Spikes on the ground, but most importantly, look, he is taking chip damage and we don't have to interact with him at all. Yes, this actually becomes like real Pokemon. If I wanted to, I could literally stall. As you see right now, the timer is going down for me to choose a Pokemon, but Medicham is still taking damage. So we can prolong and wait as long as possible for when we send out the next Pokemon, and we can make it so that we can get the full benefit off of using status moves like Toxic. You don't need to have HMs on your team at all, because the game will tell you you have to use Rock Smash, but you can use moves like Brick Break. That'll also destroy rocks. You can use moves like Bullet Punch. That'll also destroy rocks. So you can use different moves to clear the obstacles in your way. Because you can also use things like, you can use Aerial Ace for those tree stumps that you see that, like, you know, get in your way. Clear these trees as well. So, you know, there's like a lot of different ways to clear the obstacles. Don't just think you need HMs. As you might know, TMs in this game are infinite, so you can use them on whoever as many times as you want. But what you might not know is if you strike first on a Pokemon, you don't use your cooldown for the move. Meaning, if you wanted to use something like Hyper Beam as a sneak attack, you can use Hyper Beam immediately again right after that. All multi-hit moves hit for the maximum amount of time in this game. For example, Pin Missile always hits 5 times. And this is actually reflected in the move description. Just read the description. By shooting out 5, right? It will always be 5. If you are fighting, let's say, a very strong Pokemon and night falls where it turns to nighttime, or if it's turning into daytime, that Pokemon will get back all of their health. So if that's like an Alpha Pokemon, they get back all their health and you keep all of the damage you accrued on your side. So be very aware on what time it is. But if you roll off of a ledge, you do keep more of your momentum compared to if you did not. So see, for example, if I want to hit that ledge right there, you won't be able to hit that if you just walk off the ledge normally, or even if you run. However, if you roll, for example, at a corner like this, and you hit that, I mean, there's an item up here, but like, you get the idea. So if you remember how I said the plus moves will do more damage, well, you can actually use this as an alternative. Oh, I see an Alpha Ghastly. If your Pokemon can't Mega Evolve, just have it use plus moves, and that should be completely viable as well. And you can actually keep your Pokemon Mega'd. Energy is actually draining inside of Marlo's body. Take your Pokemon away, and the bar will stop draining until you decide to bring them back out. It's right next to Marlo's beak now. Guys, you'll not see Mega Chatot anywhere else on YouTube. Subscribe if this is helping you so far. But yes, you will see that the energy stops draining. So if you don't need to fight anymore, just put your Mega Pokemon away. In case you were not aware, you don't need to do your promotion match the same night you attain the ticket. If it happens to roll over to the next day, if you head over to ZA Royale, if you slide over to promotion match, here you will be able to challenge the next person, assuming you have the ticket. Which, speaking of, if you have the maximum points and you got your ticket, typically if you lose in a fight, you'll lose points. But if you have maxed out and you have your ticket, you won't lose any points if you are trying to farm and get more, money from the night. In case you forgot, yes, you can hold items in this game, and if you have items like the Quick Claw, it is extremely helpful because it makes moves at times come out as quickly as Protect. And if you are not aware, I believe Protect is the quickest move in the game. Moves like Flip Turn and U-Turn, very good in this game. Because as you know, in the base game, it makes them switch out. In this game, it'll actually make the Pokemon come right back to you. How does that look and how does that translate at all? Well, look. Let's say, for example, my good old Sharpedo uses Flip Turn. Alright, dude. You did not see me. I hate when they do that. I actually loathe when they do that. Look. He comes all the way back to me. So I'm able to avoid certain hits as he takes a massive hit. But yeah, you get the concept. So like I mentioned, battling is completely different in this game. So for example, you know how they have the physical and special split? Now in this game, if you use a special move, for the most part, it will be a long range move compared to if you use a move like Tackle, which is, hits on the physical side. The Pokemon will actually have to run up to the other Pokemon and then hit them. So, that can have numerous amounts of implications. Say, for example, I want to hit this, big Staryu. Please snipe me from right there. But if you use Tackle, I run all the way up to him and then I hit. So, just be mindful on using long range versus close range. Sometimes you'll want to be in their face because they're like a very large Pokemon, which, by the way, affects their hitboxes, meaning that if they're large, they'll be easier to hit. You'll actually see, if you go to your menu, moves like Magical Leaf, which is why I have it on my prized Victory Bell. The user attacks by scattering Curious Leaves that chase targets down. This means that this is a tracking move, so it helps that, even though it's long range, usually you won't miss a whole lot of the time. So if you want these Pokemon on screen, very important, come here at night. You want to wait until it's nighttime. You can get most of these within the first half an hour to an hour of playing. I know what type of man you are. You skip to see these things, but it's okay. I respect it though. So Staryu can be found in the second wild zone. You have to come here at night though. Floating on top with no bills to pay, mind you. Like he's just chilling. He has a chance to just spawn closer to the shore, like, here. Throw that ball. Oh, I whiffed. What? Hold on. Oh, maybe I gotta free him. Oh my, well. Victory bell move! I can't see! Honedge, he's one of my personal favorites. He's gonna be in the 4th wild zone, all the way at the top of the map in West Bubble F. You'll get to hear in about like half an hour to 45 minutes of like casual playing. Here, you'll probably get here within like an hour to like an hour and a half. Come here at night and you will see bro roaming the halls like he owns the cemetery. He probably offed half the people in here. Where is bro? Oh, see? Look. He's a little bit of a rare spawn. Personally, I found him if you walk in from the warp, you just make a right. I saw him around here and turn him into an Aegis-Slash very quickly. So if you'd like to find Gible, he is in Wild Zone 8. I don't think you could find him any earlier. In my opinion, I got here around the like 2.5 hour mark to 3 hour mark. So as long as you keep playing through story, eventually you're going to get here. Just keep. Okay, here we go. Finally. I don't know if he spawns in the day specifically, but I'm just noting that it is daytime for me right now. Mauled at the fact that Garchomp loses 10 speed when he Mega Evolves. 10 freaking speed. It took you 10 freaking speed to get me pissed off again. So if you'd like to get an Abra, he's actually very, very early into the game, so you are in luck. Marlo told me that if you go to the wild area, the first one, right? It's the very first one. That mission you get where you have to like, oh wait, actually, this is like a light spoiler, but you have a mission where you literally have to come to the back here and you climb up a ladder. Whoop-de-doo, right? Climbing on top of this building, I believe he will always be here to the right. Holy shit. Oh, okay, well you can also find Goomy here if it's raining. And if you look in the distance, you will also see the Abra right there. I would recommend coming to the back and trying to make a save around here. If you mess up, you can reload your save. You might have another shot. But bro will dip if he even senses you're in his presence. Abra's extremely racist, and he doesn't like anything that's not a Pokemon. And he will dip at a moment's notice. So treat him like a Pokemon trainer. You can actually sneak around the back of this building here, and they can give him back shots. Right? Just like that. You're gonna have to hope and pray that he lands in the first ball, because bro will be hitting you with one of these. Keep in mind that a lot of these good Pokemon will be unlocked when you get to rank V. So if you're not at V, you're not a virgin yet. You got to be a virgin, rank V, if you want to get a lot of these strong Pokemon. Riolu, the fan favorite that everyone has drawn way too much art of. That type of art. So if you come right here on the map, literally there's a long ass ladder that's right here. Let's crack the other. But yeah, he's right here. You can just climb through that small gap. Catch bro real quick. I don't know what he was trying to possibly endure. This is also where you get Spritzy. For the 2 Spritzy fans out there, Spritzy is right here. I'm not a Spritzy fan, so I'm going to kill her and leave her for dead. If you want to get Chespin, he's going to be right here on the map. He's going to be next to the restaurant Lay Wow. There's going to be a car that's on the sidewalk. He's going to be beating it because he thinks he's stronger than a motor vehicle. Chespin will literally be like right here. You can find the Fennekin right here on the map in the Magenta Sector 2. So it's like pretty close to the Wild Zone 5. She's going to be right here. Same exact spot. And Froakie will be right here. You will see that there's already a quest that you can do for him. You are not Naruto, bro. Open your eyes, dude. For the Kalos starters, again, this is going to probably unlock around rank V. That's when a lot of the map began to be more open to me. He will be at the Pokemon Research Lab. If you go up to the 2nd floor, you can guess which one I picked. But yeah, they're like right here though. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I got them. So if they're not on the 2nd floor, check the 3rd floor. And they should be off to the right here. I know the person you are. Me and Marlo know. And if you want to know how to get the Mega Stones, don't worry about it if you're not rank V. Like, it's just not even gonna be an option. Unless you get to rank V, the game will make it very clear to you when you have access to Mega Evolution. There's no like shortcut answer. That's it. However, after you get access, you can purchase them Quartzco Inc. as well as the Stone Emporium. Yeah, right here. And yeah, you can buy, and these two places will have different batches of stones for different Pokemon. Join the Discord in the description if you would like to talk with other people who play Pokemon. Say bye to Marlo.